The Marriage of Heaven and Hell is the title of a book that Blake wrote himself. So for Blake, heaven and hell are not these locations in the way that typical Christianity might conceive of them. For him, they're really states of mind and spiritual states, and he's talking about quite a spiritual practice and a way of reconciling these forces within us. He spoke about his encounters with various ghosts and spirits, and his wife Catherine would also speak about Blake inhabiting a different realm, let's say. He took inspiration from many sources in much the same way as his contemporaries, which we see in this exhibition. He's reading Shakespeare, he's reading Milton, he's reading the Bible, and creating a visual imagery to show these stories. He has his own idea of how the universe works. He has his own mythology and cosmology, and he has his own characters that interact with each other. One of Blake's main characters within his own mythology is Urizen, and he is quite a complex character, quite often seen as the voice of reason. He's often holding a compass, which we also see in Blake's portrait of Newton, who is, of course, the lead figure of the Age of Enlightenment. And Urizen is sort of seen as a godlike figure. He's often in pictures of creation. He's got a big white beard, very much like a god image, but also is seen as the figure of destruction equally. So the House of Death is one of them. What we see in this image is death hovering over these limp, lifeless forms, which are very tomb-like, and it sort of harks back to when Blake was an apprentice and he was sent to make copies of Westminster Abbey. This influence of medieval architecture has strands throughout his whole practice. What we've done in this exhibition is we've placed Blake alongside his contemporaries, and I think on the one hand we see that even though Blake was largely ignored by the world and the artistic society in which he was dismissed as a madman, but he was very much a man of his day, and he was very engaged in the politics and the age of his time. There was a small group of artists called the Ancients who really saw Blake as a visionary and as a prophet, and they really supported him in the last years of his life. And Blake took great comfort in this and comfort in the next generation, that they would understand the ideas and concepts that he was trying to espouse after his death. So while he died quite a poor man in a material sense, spiritually he had a lot of hope and was very much at ease at the end of his life.